I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we begin qualifying this weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Perhaps, well, probably the most historical and popular track in the entire world of motorsports, as we're getting ready for the qualifying session for tomorrow's 7th race of the 7th season of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. 42 drivers today going to attempt to qualify for tomorrow's event. Therefore, no drivers will miss the show, and we will do the kind of expedited qualifying session here today. 42 drivers will head out onto the track here in this first 15-minute session to determine starting spots 11 through 42. The top 10 will then move on to the final round of qualifying to run for the pole position. Got several drivers already out there getting themselves up to speed. 2.5 miles here. 2.5 mile quad oval, I guess you'd call it. Rather low banking in the corners, high speeds. Draft will certainly come into play here today and tomorrow in terms of laying down a fast lap time and in terms of tomorrow making passes. Indianapolis is usually one of those tracks where good qualifying usually yields good finishing results. However, we've seen with long green flag runs too, pit strategy come into play. As a matter of fact, one season ago, this was where a driver got their first career win. That was, of course, Zachary Fitzwater. Probably not going to see many lap times scrolling across the board just yet. At least no fast lap times, as most of those drivers you saw at first, they were just getting up to speed. Matt McIntyre's lap there, that is a get up to speed lap. His pit stall was behind the start-finish line, so it started scoring him on pit road. As a couple of other drivers you'll see start scrolling in as well. Same deal for them. I believe Daniel Voiles might be the first driver we'll see put down an official lap time here. So focused on the 26, and so far, the Fords have been pretty strong last couple of weeks, starting back at Pocono with Levi McIntyre going to victory lane, then Dylan Young and Will Goss, a couple of drivers out of Young Motorsports. Back-to-back wins at Phoenix and North Wilkesboro, so the Blue Ovals firing on all cylinders. That could be good news for a driver like Daniel Voiles, or right behind him, Destin Bolin, another driver out of the Young Motorsports stable, 3-time winner last season. We're approaching the portion of the schedule where he got really hot last year around the end of the first half of the regular season, beginning of the second half, right around the All-Star break. As he's currently second on the board. Carson Gum right now in the 19 is the fastest at a 51.726, but that could certainly change here with over 11.5 minutes still to go. All 6 of our previous winners are inside the top 30 in the point standings right now, so all would be in playoff positions at this current point in time. Casey Hoyt and Will Goss, last week's winner, would be in via top 10 in the point standings. Levi McIntyre, Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Young, and Kyler Sustre, who is 30th in points, they would all be in via wildcard spots. Still a lot of seasons still left to run. Let's drop back, try and find the 19. There he is, Carson Gum. He was at the top of the leaderboard last lap around. Now he is immediately dropped to 11th place as Reggie Fogelman in the 24 is at the top of the board. There is last year's winner here from this event, Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater coming into this one 31st in the point standings, only one top 10 in the first 6 races, so you know that this was a place that they had circled on the calendar to try and maybe get that momentum back. Fitzwater was in the playoffs last season with his victory. Right now 23rd on the board at a 52 flat for the Pertec Chevrolet Camaro. We'll see if he's able to improve. There's Reggie Fogelman, top of the board right now at a 51.115. Reggie, 16th in points. He's been kind of a little under the radar consistent last couple of weeks. I believe he is the highest running Northeast Motorsports car in the standings right now. Gained 3 spots in points after last week. So it looks like he's coming to pit road. Gonna make some adjustments on that Hyper Race Chevrolet, try and get him a little bit faster, maybe give him some adjustments in preparation to run for the pole if his lap time holds up or keeps him at least inside of the top 10. But Fogelman, as I mentioned, 16th in points, and he doesn't have a top 10. He's got an average finishing position of 20.17. So the fact that he's actually that high in the point standings and doesn't have a top 10 to his credit, that is pretty impressive. Fitzwater just jumped to 6th, then dropped to 8th. Right now inside of the top 10. Then he just dropped outside of the top 10 to 11th. There's our points leader, Casey Hoyt. Winner from Manassas, and only his 2nd career start. 6 points over Rob Evans coming into this one. Rob Evans has a checkered flag here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not in a charter capacity, though. He has a non-charter win here. That was back in, I believe it was season 3 or season 4. And it was at the road course configuration of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So he's going the opposite direction on the front straightaway here than he would have been in that Indy road course race. Right now he is 10th on the board at a 51.197, running right behind the Mazda of Nick Gunther. Speaking of Mazda, Anthony McCrory is top of the board right now at a 50.945. First driver to hit the sub-51s. And the other Mazda not doing too bad. The 4-time winner last year, Nick Gunther, right now 8th on the speed charts. Anthony's had a pretty good start to the year. 15th in points, 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. Nick Gunther, on the other hand, it's been dreadful, as he's got an average finishing position of about 31st, 32nd, and he's 42nd in points. That is the lowest of all drivers that have taken a green flag in every race so far this season. So certainly looking to bounce back here today at Indianapolis. He's right behind a former champion, and Kyle Matthews, 11th on the board right now for him. And one driver we got to keep an eye on here, as this is his home track. There he is, Matt McIntyre in the number 21. Right now he is 31st on the board in the Mako Mermaids Ford Mustang. But Matt McIntyre had a great run last week, jumped up 9 spots in the point standings to 26th, looking to continue that climb, and he's a native Hoosier. So looking to see if he can win in front of his home crowd at his home track. Remember, we haven't seen Matt McIntyre on the racetrack in a full-time capacity since season 2, I believe it was. So it's been a long time since he's been back here to the home of the Art of Bricks. Right behind him, Zach Rogers in the 6. He had a decent outing last week. Gained 3 spots in the points, but still 37th. Maybe a start of good things to come for him last week. And a guy who had a lot of good things happen to him last week, Will Goss, picking up that first career win after securing the ride at Young Motorsports as the showcase champion of last year. Jumped up 10 spots in the point standings as well, currently leading the rookie point standings. And now, trying to see if he can close out the regular season and make a playoff appearance. Actually, correction, he's second in rookie points, 4 points behind Casey Hoyt. That's an error on my part. Everything else I said, though, is correct. Right now, Will is 19th on the board. RJ Bishop running by his lonesome, 2-time winner last season. He's 30th on the board right now. You have to think, though, with Dylan Young and Will Goss winning back-to-back races, that's got to put some confidence in the camp of RJ Bishop and Destin Bolin, the other 2 cars out of Young Motorsports. Michael Norman right now 4th on the board, running here in the draft of Joshua Osborne and Cody Lamas. And immediately drops to 7th. These lap times, they are changing constantly. Anthony McCurry is still at the top of the board, but seems like nobody is safe even this late into the session, and still 5 minutes left to go. James Qualls right now P5. Zachary Fitzwater, the defending winner, just jumped to the top of the board. 50.888, besting McCurry's 9.45. Austin LaPlante right now 3rd, Casey Hoyt 4th, James Qualls in 5th. And tentatively, Miles, Norman, Fogelman, Gum, and Sustre have the 6th through 10th positions, but those could certainly change. Everybody's gunning to beat a 51.129 to advance into the top 10 and run for the pole. He's the 2 slowest cars on the racetrack right now. Laura Chung, 42nd, and Caleb Vogler right behind her in 41st. Some other big names not really putting down some fast lap times. There's one, Jesse Turner, 35th on the board. Mitchell Collins, Levi McIntyre, Dylan Poteet, who's running really well in the point standings, 5th in overall points. He is right now clocked in at 40th quickest. There's Dylan Younger, went from a couple of weeks ago at Phoenix. He is 31st right now. As Jose Mills makes a pass around Ryan Brommer. All these drivers kind of in the mid-20s to upper 30s in terms of speed. Reese Banks on pit road. There's Matthew Rodriguez. Going to be interesting to see how he does this week. Matt Rod, of course, the Daytona 500 winner. He is 12th in overall points right now. Running full-time after he was just going to be a part-time driver. There are some rumors going around that Matthew Rodriguez may end up staying full-time in the number 80. He is signed under contract for all the races that other drivers that were scheduled to be in the number 80 for the remainder of the season to run for Haas Racing. However, there's some rumors that maybe because of the consistency that's been seen out of him in this Toyota, that he may stay in the 80, and all those other contracted drivers, they'll try and qualify in a 3rd entry out of Haas Racing. So, be interesting to see what happens there. I believe the next time we're going to see another driver scheduled to be behind the wheel of this 80 car would be Darlington, where I believe that's Benny Watson scheduled to be. So we'll see. We've seen that in the races that Matthew Rodriguez has tried to qualify in the 80, he's made the events. In the races that he's tried to qualify over in the 17 out of Bishop Family Racing, he has failed in both attempts. Things looking really good for Northeast Motorsports. They've got 3 of their Chevrolets inside of the top 10. Benjamin Miles is right now in 7th. Reggie Fogelman in 9th, and the driver we're focused on right now, Austin LaPlante, is 3rd. This is a team that really needs some good things to happen. We mentioned about Reggie Fogelman 16th in points, but all the other drivers, they're not doing as well. LaPlante is 22nd, Breton is 23rd, and Miles is 27th. So this could be just the shot in the arm that entire organization needs. But they are all chasing Zachary Fitzwater's 50.888 with a little less than a minute and a half remaining. Anthony McCurry, 2nd fastest on the board, right behind him. Carson Gum right now, I believe, is holding the final 10th position at a 51.124. We'll keep our focus on him for the moment, see if anybody leapfrogs him in this final minute. Carson Gum, I believe, gained the most spots of anybody last week. Gained 12 spots. Comes into this race 18th in overall points. RJ Bishop gained 11 up to 13th, and Will Goss, the race winner, gained 10 spots up to 10th in the overall regular season point standings. Now the clock right now, Carson Gum's best friend, he's still holding on to that 10th position. Bit of a hairy situation here. Let's give us an idea of what type of passing we could see tomorrow for drivers that qualify mid-pack and rear of the field. Saw Anthony get alongside Ryan Butcher, Carson get alongside Levi McIntyre. Let's see which line prevails down here into 1. Looks like that inside line prevails. Anthony's going to get around the 78. Gum will do the same. Matt Haas following in the tire tracks. No change as of yet. Kyler Sustre is the first car on the outside looking in, 11th place, and he's leading that pack just back there in the background of your screen. But I think Carson Gum might be safe. We know Fitzwater is, McCurry, LaPlante, Casey Hoyt, James Qualls, they're all going to be in there. Miles looks safe, Norman, Fogelman, Bishop. Don't know where he got his lap time late, but he's up to 6th on the board right now. I didn't even notice that. He was by himself, all by his lonesome when we were focused on him. Must have found a group to be able to draft with, and now looks like he'll be moving on to the final round of qualifying. And I believe we are indeed official. Carson Gum will clinch the 10th and final spot to run for the pole position here in just a few moments. But it is Zachary Fitzwater coming back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They've got the notebook. They've got the race-winning strategy in the first next-gen race here at Indianapolis 1 season ago. Looks like they went right back to said playbook, and it is working out for them yet again. I'll have to go back and see where Fitzwater started last year's Indianapolis race. See if there may be any correlations between this season and last, but standings should be official here from the first round of qualifying. Your top 10, they'll be moving on for the pole position, will be Fitzwater, Anthony McCurry, Austin LaPlante, Casey Hoyt, James Qualls, RJ Bishop, Benjamin Miles, Michael Norman, Reggie Fogelman, and Carson Gum. A lot of Chevrolets in there, a couple of Fords, and then the lone Mazda of Anthony McCurry. So we'll see how they do. Kyler Sustre is going to qualify 11th for the starting lap tomorrow. Destin Bolin in 12th. Cody Lamas, good lap there in 13th. Cole Deaver, Nick Gunther will be the top 15. So both the Mazdas looking fast today. Voiles, Evans, Brommer, Haas, and Osborne going to be the top 20. Matt McIntyre, home track. He'll be 21st off the grid. As you take a look at the rest of the lineup. And looks like a little bit of struggles out of the Lake Effect Autosport team. Reese Banks 38th and Jesse Turner 39th. Their teammate Casey Hoyt is going to move on, so certainly they'll be, I think, flies in the ear of the 74 team, trying to figure out what they did. Of course, as well, remember, a lot of these drivers that are down here towards the bottom of the list, and it's going to be a long race tomorrow. A lot of passing opportunities, as we saw in those packs we were focused on, so they may have just been out there testing their race setup rather than get themselves set up for qualifying. But it's pretty clear Zachary Fitzwater and that team, they were set up for qualifying. 50.888, top of the board. Let's see if they can replicate that here in the upcoming second round, as we'll be right back after this quick commercial break for round 2 of qualifying from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. welcome back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's time to find out who's going to be starting tomorrow's race from the pole position, front row, and subsequently all the way back through the top 10. Only one driver, the driver that's actually the first one heading out onto the racetrack, a former pole sitter this season, that being Michael Norman. So he's looking for his second pole on the year. So far, 6 races, 6 different drivers have sat on the inside of the front row. We'll see if getting out early here will benefit the 22. Now, folks, next week, going to be a good one. It's our first road course stop of the season. We're at the Mid-Ohio Sports Course. And things can be very interesting in terms of the qualifying there. You're going to want to tune in just as much to qualifying as you are the actual race. It's going to be a wild one, as there and Suzuka are where the rather unorthodox qualifying criteria will be taking place. We still got to finish out this weekend, and Michael Norman, I think he and Casey Hoyt, the first two out there, realizing they only have 5 minutes to work with here in this one. As you can see, we've already used up about a minute and a half. Not a whole lot of time to be able to lay down those lap times, so get out there and get as many laps as you possibly can. Michael Norman was 8th in round 1. Don't expect to see any lap times close to the low 51s to high 50s that we saw with the bigger packs and the more opportunity for slipstream and draft down the straightaways. Not sure necessarily what you would be looking for here in terms of a lap time. Maybe mid 51 to get the pole position. We'll see. So one driver that's in a good spot right now, and that's Reggie Fogelman. I just saw him back there. He came off pit road and caught the slipstream of the 74 of Casey Hoyt. There he is. He's now on the clock. Michael Norman, 52.619. Casey Hoyt, 52.910. So right now, Norman at the top of the board. We'll drop back to the 24 in a minute again here. Carson Gumb's still sitting on pit road. Fitzwater, 52.521, getting the draft off the back of Benjamin Miles. So maybe it's going to be Fitzwater versus Fogelman here for the pole with the way they're positioned. Not sure if Carson Gumb's going to have enough time to get out there and put down a lap. Takes about 51 seconds to get around the racetrack, and there's only 2 minutes left. I think the 19's already has left pit road now. Let's see, 5.21 for Fitzwater and 51.905 for Reggie Fogelman, so he's now top of the board. RJ Bishop's got the draft on James Qualls, 52.222, puts him to 3rd. He might be able to get another draft lap here. Fitzwater, what can he do to answer back to the 51 from Fogelman? How about a 51.541 for Zachary Fitzwater? That is 0.4 quicker than Fogelman's lap. Curry and Gum now on the clock. Michael Norman lets the 48 by. We'll try and get maybe a draft lap here. Fogelman side by side with Casey Hoyt back there. That's not going to help his lap time any. Norman, 51.990. That puts him to 4th. Fogelman was slower that time by. RJ Bishop. What about the 98? Can he do anything for the pole? 51.888. Puts him to 3rd. Ooh, look at this. Miles is now in the draft of Fitzwater. Fitzwater slower. Miles slower, but there's still 30 seconds on the clock. It's a good space right there for the 25 as well. He might have something to say about the 51.5 laid down by Fitzwater. We'll find out. Anthony McCurry, 9th on the board right now. Carson Gum, 8th. How about LaPlante getting a little draft off of Norman? Does he have anything? Can he get into the 51.5s? 52.8. Casey Hoyt, slower. Slower for Fogelman. James Qualls, can he get a draft off of Bishop? 3rd and 5th right now for those two. And Qualls was slower. Bishop was slower. I think it's down to Miles. This is the last shot to knock Zachary Fitzwater off the pole, and Miles cannot do it. 51.894. And I think that's all she wrote. Zachary Fitzwater is going to capture the pole position. Fastest in round 1, fastest in round 2. Benjamin Miles is going to start on the outside of the front row, though, with him. RJ Bishop, Reggie Fogelman, James Qualls look like they're going to be the top 5. Anthony just improved, but he is still 8th. Carson still 9th. Lap times are still being counted, though, I just noticed. LaPlante, 52.808. Fogelman just jumped up to 3rd. Casey Hoyt, top of the board, 51.484. And now I think he was the last one to get scored. Let's see if these two get scored here. Did they make the line in time? No, they didn't. Hoyt was the last one to get scored, and he is going to snipe the pole position away from Zachary Fitzwater. 51.484 to Fitzwater's 5.41, and the pole sitter is going to be the points leader coming into this race. Casey Hoyt has a sub-10th place, 9.83 finishing position for an average in the first 6 races. The 74 team has not been great when it comes to qualifying. However, they were good here today. 27th average starting position in the first 6 races for Casey Hoyt. But man, they turned it up at the right time here, and well done to that team, as they're going to be leading the field to green. Zachary Fitzwater almost swept the weekend in qualifying from round 1 to round 2, but he'll be on the outside of the front row looking for back-to-back victories here at the Art of Bricks. Reggie Fogelman and Benjamin Miles, good representation of Northeast Motorsports on row 2. RJ Bishop and James Qualls will be row 3. Michael Norman, Austin LaPlante, Anthony McCurry, and Carson Gum are going to be the top 10 for tomorrow's starting lineup. So, congratulations once again to Casey Hoyt on his first career pole position. And thank you all for tuning into this qualifying session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this a like, subscribe to Bart with Crew today. And we will see you guys tomorrow for what should be a really good race here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, race number 7 of the season here in the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. Until then, though, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, while flying racing at its best.